Tell me how hard this would be.
At first that was just joy.
I want to say everything precious.
If I don't get the spirit, I'm screwed.
What motivates me to read the Book of Mormon is just the peace and comfort that I feel when I do read it.
I'm preparing for a mission.
I made a commitment to God to do that and to myself, and it makes me feel awesome, and it always answers my questions.
I can't miss at least a verse of the Book of Mormon a day because I made that promise.
It just always helps me feel good.
On days when I don't read the Book of Mormon, my day just doesn't go as well. I'm less happy, and then once I finally open up my scriptures and read, I feel so much better.
I think the feeling that I had the first time I read the Book of Mormon, every time I read it, it reminds me of that same feeling.
I feel happy whenever I read it. I feel like I'm doing what I need to do. That whenever I read the Book of Mormon for a significant period of time each day, I feel like I have my priorities straight.
And it's just good to keep like a schedule as well. I've always tried to like read it every day, so if I go without a day, I feel like weird. If you don't have that same feeling, I also feel bad like if I didn't stick to my goal.
I have a lot of Book of Mormon heroes.
There's just too many.
But one of my favorite people in the Book of Mormon, I would say, is Lehi.
Honestly, I think it's Alma the Younger, because he messed up pretty big, but he came back, you know, and he became a prophet, which kind of inspires me. Even though I mess up every day, I can still
Be a prophet.
be a prophet. Yeah.
Laconius. Easy.
I'd probably say Samuel the Lamanite just because like his name is my name. I like Samuel.
He's definitely got some hipster points going. He was a prophet and commander, and people don't really realize that, but he converts like the entire Nephite and Lamanite nation.
I don't want to be one of those people that says Nephi. I don't want to say Nephi. But at the same time, I kind of do. So my Book of Mormon hero is Nephi because he stood up like against his brothers, I guess. And he was really brave sharing the gospel, and he didn't give up.
Abinadi, and I just love him because he was so courageous.
My Book of Mormon hero is Abinadi because he's just so spiritual and he just knows what he believes and sticks to it, and I admire him for that.
And he's somebody that I've always wanted to be like and hoped that I could have courage like him.
I don't know, like all the way through?
I kind of lost track.
Probably 4 or 5.
More than 5.
I would probably put it around like 6 to 8-ish.
I've read the Book of Mormon 3 times.
22?
I'm on my second time and it's great.
6 times I read it.
3 times.
Like where people say, hey, read this book about these random Indians over here in America who were actually Jewish, and your life's gonna get better. Start reading, life starts getting better, and it keeps happening, so cool.
Most powerful experience with the Book of Mormon was the first time I read it. Anyway, I just opened the book and I didn't understand anything that wasn't a book because it was just weird to me, and it was the first time I read the scriptures in my life. But I remembered that the missionaries asked me to pray about it, so I did, and I prayed about the Book of Mormon and I knew it was true. I just didn't know why. I kept reading it.
I don't know if there's any like huge ones, but it feels like every week at least I'll have some question or some concern, and I'll just open up the Book of Mormon to some random page and there's a verse of scripture that just speaks to me.
So whenever I was in 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade, my older brother left on his mission, and he left me with a challenge to finish the Book of Mormon before he returned home. And I had never read through the Book of Mormon all the way through. But whenever I started, I committed to it and didn't really miss any days, and it was just like something I had to do every day. And even though I didn't have a testimony of it, I knew that he did, and I knew that there was power in that book. And I love that book for that reason, and I love him for that reason.
I remember one time on my mission when I was just having a rough couple days. I remember before I started my personal study, I prayed and I just said, I was like, God, can you just show me something that makes me feel happy again? Like, I don't know why, I'm not feeling it right now, but that would be great. So I opened it up and I was just feeling rotten for some reason. And I was reading through and all of a sudden I read somewhere in 2 Nephi, I think it's chapter 10 at the very end, where he says, lift up your hearts and be of good cheer. And right then I was like, whoa, this is really good stuff. And it hit me that God can answer my prayers through the Book of Mormon. He answers my prayers through the scriptures, through his word.
So as a senior in high school, I received 2 concussions, and these are my 3rd and 4th concussions overall. And it was a real struggle for me to get back into school and get back into normal life. I had cognitive impairment that I had to deal with, and one of the things that really helped me get through it was reading the Book of Mormon. And while I couldn't physically read at the time, I would listen to it on tape, and that was one of the most comforting things that has ever happened.
When Joseph Smith said that a man would get nearer to God by abiding by his precepts than by any other book, I believe that's true. I really do.
I was going through something that was so difficult for me. I couldn't think straight, but that was the one thing that I knew Christ was there for me. I knew he had felt what I had felt. I knew he had gone through what I had gone through. And that was something that really built my testimony of the Book of Mormon and really made me appreciate it.